Oh, we are live. Dun-dun-dun. Welcome everybody to round 50. Oh dear, I'm in the game chat. Oops. Get rid of that. Oops. I hate speaking in the game chat. So bloody nerve-wracking. Somehow it's more acceptable in 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. We're back. Welcome everybody to round 15 of the SLR T1 Championship. I am Nene057 commentating for you today. Owen may be joining us. I'm yet to know really. Hello Dynamic, good morning to wherever you are watching from. For where I am, it's the usual time, 5:20. Let's get this bread. I had a sandwich earlier. Yeah, as everyone does their opening laps on the hard tyres. Yeah, I'm expecting qualifying to be on the mediums. CYP's already retired from the session. But yeah, obviously the championship gap was closed significantly last time out, with Kalka's beating Surface on track to win the Monza GP at the Temple of Speed, which bodes well for him. The championship gap is now, I think, 21 points. I think, between the two. No, it's 24 points. Oh, sorry, I was so wrong there. But yeah, with 6 rounds to go in this championship, it's all to play for between the top two, who have been pretty utterly dominant between them and the rest of the field for one reason or another. But yeah, obviously we've got Speedster who can mix things up. Obviously Milix is up there, Dario as well. We've got Snacks, who is new to the league today, hasn't raced on F1 2019 online apparently, but so that bodes well. But we'll see if he's capable of doing anything. He's gone out on the medium straight away, maybe just to get his lap in early. But we'll see what he's made of. Yeah, these early laps are just pretty much provisional. I'm expecting pole to be probably 34s of some description. That's the tyre difference really between medium and hard. I'm expecting them to get into 36s on hards really. Maybe half at 36s possibly. I mean, if I could do a 36, then I think they. I mean, I'll do 36s on really softs. Time traveling, man. On hards, but these are much quicker than I am, so who am I to judge? On board with Blunt at the moment in his Ferrari. Last time out I think he finished 5th. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. Thank you. Makes a change. He's currently on a lap of this very tight marina type circuit, I suppose. It's next to a few water and bridges under the Anderson Bridge there. I nearly referred to as Abu Dhabi there for a second. But we're quite a long way away from that as he gets it turned in then. Really nice second gear just to get that extra bite in turning. With these hard tyres, it's obviously they scrub a lot more because there's less grip on them. Being harder tyre, obviously. And going through the other bridge under the grandstand then must be a great place to sit, watching the cars go under the bridge like that. And watching the fireworks going off in the background, so the dogs are going to be barking ever so often. But here goes Blunt across the line. Will he be able to improve on his 38? He goes into the 37.9, so that's him up into P5 so far for this session. You're Canadian, right? That makes total sense. If you're paying $50 on Jose, I think you've just lost them. There's no offense, he isn't exactly a front runner. He's okay, but he's hardly up there. Speedster comes to the line now. We're 37.1, and like I said, the 36s are going to get threatened, I think, with these hard tyres. Anyone who's asking for Owen this week, good question. I don't think he'll be here. If he's going to be here, he's going to be very late apparently, but he's not here so far as Kalka's beats that time pretty quickly, but only just by 200ths of a second. Then we've got lots of surfaces a little bit off, about half a second off the pace. Culvero is currently in P5, and hard tyres is not pushing on this lap down. But yeah, the front two separated by what is 200ths of a second. I'm expecting people like Milik's surface, Dario to be in that fight as well. What is Dario doing? He's currently on a lap, so we'll stay on board with him. He's just started his lap, I think. So we'll stay on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, see if he can threaten the top of the timesheets on these early runs. I think he'll do this lap and then pit and then go for the mediums, possibly. He's using all the road. There's a lot of lag going off here. We don't know if he has spun the car or not, but there's a lot of lag going off there. And he's given up on the lap, so that's the end of that for Dario. Culvero comes into the bits, isn't it? So he's going to get disqualified, isn't he? That's an interesting way to go into the pit lane. Speedster would be a bit shocked going in there. I think he would have found it quite funny. I mean, I hope he finds it quite funny, because I found it quite funny. Him just reversing, trying to three-point turn it into the pit lane. Yeah. We've seen all these guys to pit. This lap is a massive slide from Milik's probably ruined his lap. And this is planning and qualifying on the hard tyre for some sort of advantage. I don't know quite what advantage you'd be looking for. As he goes under the bridge now. Mind you, 7 minutes to go, so he could probably get round on a set of medium still. If he gets in with that 5 minutes, it'll be touch and go, but it's not entirely impossible. As he's up by a tenth of a second on his current lap, so put him nowhere out, really. He's about 3 or 4 tenths down, so maybe this is not his favourite track. Because when he's on it, he's on it, as he's sliding the car around, throwing it around a bit. As it tends to be like on street circuits, but this one is different to, let's say, a Monaco, where you've got to be a bit more smooth. The smoother you are, the better the time will be, in general. Unless you drive around at 2 miles an hour, obviously. There goes Milik's to the line now. Will he be able to get anywhere near the 36ers? But he does go first. About half a tenth off of the 36ers. So he really was pushing there. I wasn't expecting that sort of time to be pulled out of the bag, where you're hitting the walls and what have you around the lap. Maybe it was just a bit of lag. But that's him to provisional pole position. We've got 6 minutes to go of this qualifying session. We've got Dario just starting another lap on them hards. I think he must be qualifying on the bloody hard tyre, because he hasn't got much time left. As Dove goes to P1 on the mediums, the first person onto the mediums, a 36.2 for him. I'm presuming he can go slightly quicker than that, maybe 35s. Now here comes Dario to the line. Will he be able to get anywhere near? No, is the answer. He does improve, but not by a lot. And Milik's will be trundling around to the pit lane now to try and get another run out of this. Got a fair few people on the medium tyre. Has Dove gone for a second lap? No. Going board with Blunt then, who's just starting his lap. He's 4 tenths up, apparently, in the first little bit of the lap. I don't know if that's true, because he's not at the end of the first sector yet. There it is, 4 tenths. Must be Mystic Meg. As he comes round now into turn number 5. Negotiates it quite nicely. As you see, carrying much more speed than he was on the medium tyres. He's managed to be a little bit higher on the gears carrying that a little bit more speed and being able to gain a bit of lap time out under the Anderson Bridge, carry as much speed as you can in that second gear. And that was really nice into the hairpin, really got it nailed, chucked in, and that'll gain him quite a lot of time, so we'll see what his delta will be. I'm expecting probably a second difference at least, as he heads now into the final sector of the lap. Will Blunt be able to beat Dove's time? I keep going Dove, I don't know. Doan's time and get that provisional pole position. And there comes Blunt to the line. He's going to flick it in 5th gear, hold it as much as he can. That's a really nice line to the line, and that is provisional pole. 1:36.239, just ahead of Doan by 400ths of a second. Will the likes of Culvero be able to do anything? He's currently on a like Kalkas is starting his lap. We'll keep an eye on him, as that could be interesting. Kalkas, not Kalkas, Kaksnax, so what his name is, I don't know how to say that name, I'm not going to lie. But we'll stay on board Culvero's the most furthest round at the moment. As he tries to make his way for the field. Is anything in sector 2, I wonder what that'll be. It could have been Blunt. Or is it just Kalkas? Because he's slowed down. Turbo Culvero seems to be the only person really pushing at the moment. And the McLaren, will he be able to do what Lando didn't? As the Williams of Doan has gone even quicker with a 35.8 there, so he's going to the 35s, first man into the 35s at the moment on the mediums, and I wonder if he would be one of the people to challenge for pole position today. Here comes Culvero around the final corner, shifts down, and across the line he goes, and Culvero goes even quicker, 35.5 on their medium tyres. It seems a pretty clean lap, but that's his lap. Cooking a cat snacks. He's done a 36.7 on the soft. Blunt starting off his Kalkas backed off, didn't he? Go on board with surface. He's halfway through his lap. He's 4/10 up at the moment. He needs to find a little bit more time in the last sector. He's not really pushing the margin for the pole position time, really, which would be a surprise. I mean, it's a pretty decent time by Culvero to be aiming for, but it's definitely beatable. Will he be able to claim his first pole position in SLR? I wonder. As we've got an incident in sector 2 again. Wonder if that's Kalkas again. Having a little bit of a moment. But we're on board with the championship leader. And will he be able to do what he needs to keep himself on top? As he comes round the final few corners now. Round the final corner, he whips it in. And will he be able to get anywhere near pole? He goes on provisional pole by literally pretty much a 10th from Culvero. So that shows you how good that lap was. And Kalkas is getting slipstreamed by Speedster. Speedster gets out of the way. He got a bit of a toe there, down there though. So stay on board with the Alfa Romeo driver, should I say, of Kalkas as he come around now into the tunnel and out again, and around the final few corners of this very technical track. How technical is Kalkas? We'll find out in a second as he comes to line now. Will he be able to go provisional pole? No is the answer. 2/10 is the difference between 4th and 1st, and Kalkas is retired from the session, so that's the end of that. He's given up. And the only man, really, well, there's two men, really. I mean, there's Dario, who's 1.6 seconds up at the moment, so will he be able to get anywhere near? But at the minute, there's only really two guys that I'm confident with that I think, well, they might be able to get anywhere near that time. of surface, but very well done for Culvero to pull that one out of the bag. But here goes Dario to the line. Will he be able to get anywhere near? It's a 36.58, so 3/10 off for Dario. And the only person now I think can get anywhere near it is Speedster. And will he be able to make a bit of a difference here? As yeah, 3/10 the difference between 6th and 1st. How close is that? Really, honestly, that is insane from them guys. And I can imagine Speedster will be joining them fairly shortly. But will he be the man on top? I wonder. And he's heading around the corner, and just did a 35.5, pretty much dead. So 9/100ths of the difference in the end between 1st and 3rd, as Ben Gallagher goes into P9 there with 36.9. Is the best of the rest, I suppose. AJ with 36.4. So not really great for me, but it's not horrendous as he comes down the final corner. Will Speedster get anywhere near pole? He spun it! He's starting 11th. He's bottled it in the last corner. I don't know if that was on purpose. Maybe he just gave it everything and bottled it or not. Or he's just down anyway. But Speedster starts P11. And our pole position man is Surface in the end. Top 6 separated by 3/10, and it's a little bit more of a gap. If Speedster completed his lap, would it have made a difference? I think he could have, but that's hindsight for you. And he's going to have to be fighting for his through field. In hindsight, he's probably in a great position. He'd rather be 11th than 10th. Let's put it that way. And get a free tyre choice, so that'll make things interesting. Maybe he might go for the hard tyres. I don't know. Should be an interesting race though. See if anything on the... Nothing on Owen, so he's not coming for this race, unfortunately. But for us, hopefully we get a good Singapore Grand Prix. I commentated the T2 one yesterday. I was falling asleep. I've seen the A1 one, and that wasn't particularly a fantastic race either. So I'm hoping 3rd time lucky for a good Singapore race. Hopefully some close battling. Make up for... I mean, Monza was a crazy race. Looking at it back, but I don't know, it's Monza. You expect a little bit more. You always do. You're expecting slipstream trains all the way down the field, pretty much. So hopefully we can have a fantastic race. Maybe even a new race winner, because Culvero yet to win a race. Obviously, his first, let's say, half season with the league so far. First few races with the league. He's currently P2 behind Surface. In position, starting position, should I say. And also Doan has yet to win a race in P6. And I think Dario hasn't won one yet, has he? No, Dario's come second. He hasn't won one yet. Milix has won once this season. He won last season, I'm pretty sure. There's 3 guys in the top 6 who haven't won a race yet, so that could be interesting. But Surface has put himself in prime position to win the race. We're going to have a look at the tyre strategy to confirm what I was saying there about Speedster going on the hard tyres, as expected. I mean, the soft tyres are pretty useless at this track. I mean, two-stop is probably slower, I think. And I don't think the softs last too long. AJ in P8 as well. Depends on these guys like Blunt, AJ, if they can get a good start ahead of Doan or Dario to hold them up more than anything. I don't think they've got quite the pace to keep with them. I think they're in their own separate little battle. But talking about people outside the top 10 who I haven't spoke about yet, so Ben nipped in right at the end there for P10. Speedster, obviously we spoke about. Thomas, P12, I've been playing FM with him all day, so that explains why he's not quite at it. Skin Up, P13, pretty average for him, pretty where he usually is. He kind of just sneaks into the top 10 in races for some reason. That's why he's, I think, 11th in the championship, 12th. The Pirate, P14, Noe Jose, 15, and CYP who crashed early in qualifying. That's someone else who's going to be very interested in watching this race in P16. But here we are. We're finally here for the start of the Singapore Grand Prix. Obviously, we've got an hour and 20 minutes before the F1 race. We should be well and truly okay, unless there's 50 million safety cars. But the likelihood of that is very, very slim. As we go to the 5 lights, first the Singapore Grand Prix. And they are out, and we haven't got a mover on the grid. I think that is Doan, who did not get away at all. I think he got a bit spooked by the lights. Expected there's a bit of contact there into turn 1. I think Dario was involved. Blunt's lost half the front wing, going into the rear of Kalkas, I think. But going on board with Kakanax, who is going down the inside, and his span on the inside of the corner, and that should just be a pretty harmless spin. Ben Gallagher's up into P7 with Thomas in P8 here, and here goes Thomas on Ben, round the outside possibly, and he's made it work. So Thomas up into P7 from P12, I think. So good start from him. We've got Dario on the back of an injured Blunt. Kalkas has remained P4. Milix has made a move on Culver off the start, so he's up in P2, chasing after the surface. He'll be hungry to basically redeem himself from last week. I think he finished P8 last time out, so he'll be hoping to make something happen in that department. Looking further back, Speedster hasn't picked up any positions. He's looking in the hairpin at AJ, who's dropped a couple of positions off the grid. CYP's made 4 positions up, obviously through the spinning Kaxnaska, obviously Jose Skin Up, Doan, who didn't get off the grid, who didn't really affect anyone in the end. I think it just slowed AJ down. I think that's why he fell back a bit. But on board with Speedster, will he be able to make a move? I mean, it's a very difficult track to overtake on. So the undercut might be, well, on the hard tyres, and the undercut isn't an option. As CYP is out this race. We'll see in a second. Oh yes, he's just lost it going into the tunnel. But at the end of lap 1, we only have 1 driver down, so fair play to it. As Bengali goes into turn 1, Thomas leaves him the space, but Ben will just have to sit in behind for now. And that's the end of CYP race. There goes Dario on Blunt with a bit of slipstream, and Dario really needs to get a move on because he's going to fall behind the rest of them. Dario won the race last week on trackers, made the move on Blunt there, but penalties cost him in the end. We're looking further back, and Ben Gallagher and Thomas are getting a bit feisty. Same with AJ and Pirate, as the Pirate's got the inside line into the next sequence of corners, but now AJ has the inside line. I think the Pirate will have to give this up. Nice move from AJ, nice flowing move, rhythm, as the Pirate is ghosting through AJ at the moment from Speedster's POV. As Speedster is looking at the Pirate, that's going to be a gap that's going to close. But he's a little bit too far back to make a move into the hairpin. I can't believe he's just done that, honestly. He's broke himself into the hairpin, punted AJ, and the Pirate had nowhere to go. I don't think he got any damage. I think AJ might have, possibly. No, but that was what would I describe it? Like a suicide move. Yeah, he was a bit desperate there, I'd be fair to say. It happens, especially on tracks like this and Monaco. When you get a bit desperate, you make that move. I've done it before. It's nothing that's new. As the DRS is open, so that'll help Milix, and that's the thing that probably Speedster should have waited for. The DRS opening, because it gives you at least half a chance to do something like that, I suppose, because it gets you a little bit closer to the car in front. It's not helping Milix at the moment. He's just going to be sitting in behind surface here. Now he has to run a perfect race, pretty much, not get any penalties in that department. Milix has already got a warning, The surface is pretty known for not getting any penalties at all. Culvero is a little bit too far behind with Calcas. For Calcas, the undercut might be something that he can look at later on, because it is effective at this track, going on to the hards earlier. So from his point of view, that could be something, an option, from what I've seen in previous races. I'm looking at Ben Gallagher and Thomas, who's caught up to the back of Blunt a little bit. I'm expecting him to catch up to the back of Blunt with his damaged wing. And Ben also. So P6 isn't out of the question for these guys, obviously. Be a good amount of points for whoever gets it. Blunt will have to change his front wing, so I'll put him a bit further back. I'm saying he'll probably have the pace to come back after them, but for now he's doing a nice job. But Thomas will close that gap as he struggles around, especially this sort of corner, the high speed corners. And you can see already he's gained like 3 or 4 tenths just through that final corner. And Ben as well, and AJ will close this gap back up to them. He'll be hoping anyway, because he wasn't a million miles away after the back of Ben before Speedster came along. Surface is still in the lead of this race. Milik's just a little bit too far back, with Culvero kind of managing the gap, not quite closing. And Calcas as well, as Ben Gallagher has made the move on Thomas there. I didn't see it, I don't know if Thomas made a mistake or something, but he's made the move stick, so he proves you can make the moves. As Ben is a second off of Blunt, with the damaged Blunt, and he'll be hoping to get past him fairly quickly, obviously on the same tyres. And Ben with a little bit more pace than Thomas, who's on the hard tyres, obviously be quicker at the end of the race. Could be interesting. But looking at Milik, he's starting to get all over the rear of Surface. This is becoming a bit of a, what's the word? It's basically happening pretty much every race with Surface. He gets into the lead or something and then doesn't pull away. He doesn't get away from the car behind and then ends up winning on something like a penalty or something. Because they're the things that have been saving him from, let's say, worse results. Let's say, I've said that 4 times. Let's say like last week, for example, I think he finished P4, 5, and then ended up finishing second, got on penalties. For example, Culvero 1.8 behind, so he's starting to slowly drop back. Speedster is retired. Honestly, I don't blame him. That was atrocious. Best thing you can do, because even if he does get any points, the likelihood of the steward inquiry will probably demote him out of it. As here goes Ben Gallagher on Blunt. Nice respectful racing from the two of them. Going into the right-hander, Blunt will carry the momentum and keep the position for now, and it's going to put Thomas all over the back of them. I'm presuming you guys are talking to Jose, that's why you're getting all this information from, but he's like 30 seconds behind Jose, so I'm sort of confused by how you're getting this information in the first place. There's Ben Gallagher, 3 tenths all over the back of him. AJ's joined the battle. The Pirate is 4 seconds off, so I'm not expecting. I'm presuming the Pirate's got a bit of damage actually, because he's got skin up on the back of him. But here goes Ben on Blunt, and it looks like a done deal. And yeah, Blunt will start to sink. I have a bit of a sinking feeling right now. As Thomas will start to close into the back rear, but here goes AJ on Thomas, and he'll start going to feel a bit like he's going backwards on them hards, but he's just got to hang in there as he goes right around the outside. There's a bit of contact between the two, but I think Thomas was entitled to stick his nose in there, so fair play from either of them for not actually crashing each other out. But that's Thomas maintaining position with Blunt looking at Ben. Again, Ben not streaking away, but I presume he'd have a little bit more pace. Obviously, with a bit of DRS from Blunt, might be able to keep within range. Oh, he's gone in neutral at the hairpin there. Interesting. I don't think that was planned. That's going to drop him out of DRS range. Kalkas is still looking at the rear of Culver. He's pushing him along, and they're starting to catch Millix again, about 3/10 this time round. So it's pretty much a lap time battle between the front four. Dario can't keep up. As the Kalkas pits for the undercut. I mentioned this. Maybe it's something Kendon might be watching or listening to me. I don't know. But they're always chatting or listening to the stream. They tend to have somebody who's listening to the stream to see what everyone else is doing. But is he out? Did he have a penalty? He was sat in that pit box for a very long time. Oh, there's Jose, your friends. Jose's in the wall there, and there's Williams. But Kalkas was in that pit box for a very long time, wasn't he? Oh. Thomas has got himself stuck in the wall. And then, I think it was AJ? Yeah, that went to the back of him. Oh. That's disappointing. This race is going to go to crap again, isn't it? It's Singapore. They just don't like it. Culver was dropped off the back of Millix a little bit. Now Kalkas' pit. He's on the cut, but I don't know what... Let's have a look. Gap to leader. 38 seconds. I tend to think that 38 seconds is a bit too much of any pit stop to get the lead. So he's got a lot of work to do. I think the pit lane losses are around, I don't know, 25, 28 seconds, somewhere around there. I don't know exactly. There's another incident there. That's Thomas and AJ battling over the wooden spoon. There's Blunt pits. Where will he come out? Definitely behind Kalkas. He's getting himself back in the top 10. That's a good start for him. As he tries to regain a bit of track position, as Culver was overtaking Millix. As Millix made a mistake somewhere because he was pushing Surface along quite nicely, and now he's a long way away and closer to Dario than the car ahead of him. So it's all happening in a good way for Surface to gain quite a lot of points in this race, unless he crashes out himself. But it's all happening on lap 8 of this Grand Prix. It's more an endurance race. The skin up was on the back of Pirate, has been for a few laps, trying to get past him for the P6. And also Kalkas is on the rear of Jose. Can't see this lasting too long, unfortunately for Jose. The Canadian is holding him up a treat, but I can imagine on the DRS zone he's going to pretty much fly past him. Around the final corner, just carrying that little bit extra speed. And there he is. He's got the momentum now. He's got to make the move, and he does down the inside, and that's Jose gone. And in his rear view mirror, this car goes up into P8, trying to regain everything that he lost, basically. He's sitting in the pit lane for 20 years. I don't know if he had a glitch. I'm presuming he did, unless he forgot to bang it in gear. Because AJ's left the session. Oh, Melix is out. And any chance of him having a podium has disappeared rapidly. Where did he die? Oh, he's run wide in here. He's just pushing a little bit too hard and then put it in the wall. Unless Dario had anything to do with it, but I don't think he was. I think he was a bit too far back to have anything to do with it. There's Coker's making some inroads in the leader. He is, he's made about 8 tenths. Not really enough to make an impact. I'm expecting him to come out in P4. I mean, he was in P4 before the pit stops, but because Milix has died and who else? I'm trying to figure out what this race was before. Never mind. I've been overtaken by Dario. I think he was in P3 before? Must have been. And then Dario P5. Oh yes, because Milix was ahead of him, wasn't he? So he's gained a position from Milix, but lost one because of Dario. So that's why he's still in P4. Yeah, okay. I've worked it out. But he's definitely gaining on skin up. As you can see, there's you can see the pirate over there. And yeah, there aren't really any battles at the moment. This is it's basically Singapore at its best. Not really much happening. If it rains, then that'll be interesting. I don't think that will happen. We're at surface pit, so we'll get to find out where Calcus comes out. He's going to be way behind, isn't he? As he's coming to the end of the pit lane, Calcus is approaching the final corner, but not coming round it. He's heading around the final corner, he's going around turn 1, so that's the difference between the two. Dario will come out ahead as well, but not by much. So that's the difference now between the leader and Calcas. And then the person really challenging for the lead now is Culvero, but he's about 3 seconds off the lead. So, not sure. With 20 laps of this Grand Prix to go. This is where I wish Owen was here, because I'd have someone to talk to. But anyway, in terms of the championship, maybe we can calculate the points. So, Calcus finishes 4th and Surface in 1st. That'll be a 13-point difference, and the gap will open up to 37 points again. And it was like that a few races ago before Calcus won 3 in a row. But unfortunately for him, Calcus finished on the podium in every single one of them. 2 seconds in the 3rd. He didn't really gain them much. It's Culvero pits as he's trying to sort of jump surface, but he's not gonna because he's already been overtaken. Surface is going into turn 1. Culvero. Dario possibly, maybe. Going for the undercut. Oh, he has. Culvero's come out in P5, interesting enough. Don't quite know what happened there. So when he was in second, now he's in P5. So we've got a battle for P2. I mean, we've got Skin Up as well, but he's yet to pit. And them hard tyres, and he'll be going as long as possible. As Jose pits, and he drops down to P12. But Dario's probing the rear of Skin Up, and will he track down inside? No, not quite. As Tarkus isn't really catching, but he'll be hoping Skin Up can hold him a bit longer, but I don't think that'll happen. He locked that front tyre up though. Whereas Kalka's 7/10 behind. Skin Up now is the person to overtake him. I think Dario will start pulling away now because Skin Up can't keep up and get himself out of that DOS range as quick as he can. And the second gap's already opened up, and Kalkas really needs to make that move right now to try and catch Dario, and it looks like it might happen. It will happen into turn 1, and he's made the move. Skin Up has got Culver company now next for P6. Doan, for interesting enough, has worked himself up to P6. I don't know how long them hard tyres will go. I'm pretty sure not to the end of the race. So he'll probably drop out the points again, but it's nice to know he's still in it. Culvero is looking at the rear of the Red Bull. As Milix has his take on how he retired anyway, dirty air effect. Yeah, we've got a chat coming down. Here goes Culvero on Skin Up. Down inside he went, and it was a bit of a bold move, but I think Skin Up was expecting to go backwards anyway. So he's not too disappointed, but here comes Blunt, and I said he'd be coming back at Ben later on in the race with a new front wing, and he's attempting to. And that's why they say really that pole is important on tracks like this, Monaco, stuff like that, because it basically wins you the race before you even started. And Blunt through the final corner now. Will he be able to shift it down and then shift it back up again and gain a bit of overspeed on Ben Gallagher with a bit of DRS? Down the inside he goes, and he's overshot that. And I think he knows. Kalkas is getting back within that second of Dario, and the best thing Kalkas can do now is get back on P2 and just limit the damage. I don't think Surface has got any penalties yet. I don't think Dario's got 3 warnings. One of them will be contact. Kalkas has a penalty, and Culvero had a 5-second penalty at the start, so that's probably where he lost all his time. Interesting enough. So that explains why I come out in P5 instead of P2. The Pirate and Thomas are having a bit of a battle for the final point. With Cacnas further back. There goes Blunt and DRS again. On Ben, will he be able to get close enough? Not this time, I don't think. Obviously, tried making the move on the last lap. Oh, down inside, but didn't quite commit to it. With the fear of going to the side of Ben. A bit of DRS though on the straight. Will he be able to make a move on Ben? He's a bit too far back, but look at the overspeed he gets on the braking. Doesn't get far away. As the Pirate has got back to Thomas. Thomas is trying it back again around the outside possibly. No, not on this occasion. I don't know what kind of dialect we're going on in this chat, but it's not English. I think it's French. So it's Canadian. Canada doesn't really have a language. No, not much of a language if they do. We've got quite a lot. This is probably the most healthiest chat we've had all season. As we're watching Kalkas and Dario going at it once again. Will Kalkas be able to get past Dario at some point in this race? As Dario's closing the gap slightly to surface, I don't know if he's fuel saving a little bit. But it's come down slightly. I'm not getting too excited because we're halfway through this Grand Prix now. Jesus Christ, we've got another 15 laps. Dario looked like he hit the wall there. I think there was a bit of lag involved. Going into the hairpin again. Yeah, there's a couple of battles going off. Blunt and Ben, and obviously Kalkas, Dario, Thomas, and Pirate. We're just kind of waiting for something to happen. Just want to get close enough to be able to make a move without the air effect. So at the moment, it's pretty easy to defend. Obviously, Blunt had that one chance into turn one out, broke himself. If he would have kept that on track, he'd have got the move done. What you should just do, really, with them sort of things, you've got to find the limit of braking and basically brake early, pretty much, and force the person on the outside to brake late, because they'll expect you to go to the inside, I suppose. I don't know. Just a thought, I suppose. As here we go again. It looks like Blunt is a lot closer this time around the final corner. Revving it out in fifth gear. It looks like this time he's close enough to make a move with a bit of DRS. Ben goes defensive this time. Forces Blunt to the outside. And unable to make the move. But Ben keeps the position for now. This is a battle really for P6 because Doan has to pit. There he goes, Blunt round the outside. He's going to force the issue. He's going to get the inside line. What a move by Blunt in the end. Oh, Ben. He shat himself into the braking zone, let's face it. He shat himself into the braking zone. He thought about it. He thought, right, I'm going to go back that inside, and realised there was nothing, that he couldn't do it. As Kalkas is getting very close to his teammate, Dario. Is a good haul of points if Alpha, if they keep it clean. Dario needs the points as well to climb more into the top 10 than he already is. I think he's in 9th. 8th in the championship. But if he gets this result P2, he will be above Millix into P6. I think even if he gets 30, he'll go above Millix into P6. But it's not really a surprise for Millix, let's face it. Every time he finishes, he either wins on DNFs or gets a podium of some description. Here he goes. Kalkas on Dario, that is brave. And that is borderline stupid, but Dario's going to get the position back. I think Kalkas is pretty much going to give it him. There's a bit of wheel banging. Corvo, who's come out of pretty much nowhere, there's contact between the two, and that's a dangerous part of the track to have contact between the two. And Kalkas was not happy, as you can see he's weaving. I don't know if he's unhappy with the defence of Dario there, but making his feelings known anyway. But this has put the McLaren on the rear of these two. But yeah, this is becoming a three-way battle here for final stop of the podium. Surface has pretty much got this one. This is going to be a domination pretty much for him. One of his, probably the best race he's had all season. I think the only person who's matched him pace to pace is Millix on race pace. But Millix kind of died in the dirty air. Of course, Corvo around the final corner. Will he be able to get closer? Well, that is track extending. He's going to get a warning for that. Skin up pits finally for them medium tyres to go to the end. He'll come out around Thomas and Pirate, so that will become a three-way battle, I think. So I'm still come out pit then, but he has the better tyres. Ben is dropping off of Blunt, but not by a massive amount. Going to the top 3, second, third and fourth again. 4/10 is the difference in the Alphas. They came to blows in the previous lap. And also Jose's been dragged onto the back of Skinner a little bit, but he's got to keep with him to catch up to Thomas. So points aren't not on the cards, let's put it that way. There's Kalkas under the RS now. Will he be able to do anything on Dario? Into the braking zone? No. Nice to have a battle though. We're on single post bows with what is 11 laps to go. I think this race, that's a minute and a half a lap pretty much. Another 15 minutes or so, just over, probably 20. We'll head on to lap 21 with surface. But these three are kind of rolling the dirty air effect that Millix was talking about at the moment. Struggling to get close to each other, and they've got to basically save up their RS and then batter the door down every so often. And that's where their opportunity will come, or a mistake from Dario. Thomas Pitt, yeah. So that's why Pirate has no friends anymore. Except for Skin Up, who's joining him. And sets fastest lap of the race. That'll be extra point for Skin Up. I don't believe Skin Up's got a fastest lap of the race this season. No. So that'll be his first. If he does. And it also depends if Thomas gets in the top 10 again, but 17 seconds is a big ask. And the gap's starting to spread between these three now again. Maybe just try to save the tyres a little bit. I don't know. With the dirty air effect. Trying to save the RS. Oh, that piece of barrier is sticking out of what's CYP here. I didn't really notice that until now. Don't really affect anything, I don't think. And we are going to go overtake for P8, I think. From Skin Up on the Pirate. The Red Bull on the McLaren. Going under the tunnel. Blunt picks up another penalty. And that's Ben Gallagher's, let's say, saving grace with that position. Pirate, it looks like he's going to pit. He is. So he's going to go back and rejoin Thomas. That's his third penalty for Blunt. Ben, and there's the one. So 6 seconds. Ben has to stay within next 9 laps. See if he'll be able to do it. It's like going through treacle dirty air, really. It's like you get really close and then all of a sudden, nope. Yeah, it's pretty much a stalemate between these three. They kind of cancel each other out. I wonder who's the fastest of the three at the moment. 41, 40, 48 there. Calcus needs to pick up the pace by a couple of tenths to really force the issue. Culver at the back, I think, is probably over the last couple of laps been a little bit quicker than these two. Definitely keeping with them pretty easily. Obviously, fresher tyres by 5 laps over Calcus, 1 lap over Dario. There's no doubt out of the 3 drivers, probably Calcus is the quickest of the 3. Obviously he's on older tyres and going quicker than Dario, but just can't pass. He's getting very close, but no cigar. There's another 41 flat there. Yeah, it's time to die this race, I suppose. The Pirate came at 8 seconds behind Thomas, so he gained a massive advantage through that. Jose's found him way back into the points, by the way. Thomas has closed that gap by about 5 seconds already, though. Sure, fairly close at the end. Oof, I was checking the chat, sorry. I don't have my phone on me. So, sit rep is that Surface on lap 25 of this Grand Prix is leading by 13 seconds to Dario, the Italian. It's currently 13 seconds behind, with Kelka's about a second behind him, with Corvo about a second behind him. 17 seconds behind these guys. Doan, who's still going, probably yet to pit, I presume. As you'll find out fairly shortly, as he's got 6 laps to go, maybe he's in massive tyre saving mode. He's 22 lap old, 23 lap old hards. We've got Blunt at 6 seconds behind, and then he's gone out of his penalty range, let's say, of Ben Gallagher, who's 7 seconds off now. With Skin Up closing him down a bit. Jose P9, 10 seconds away from Skin Up, getting closed in pretty rapidly by Thomas. I'm probably expecting him to catch him by the end of the race, actually. So that should be interesting. And Pirate, after pitting, hasn't really got the pace, unfortunately for him. As Jose picks up another penalty. We'll check the penalty situation with Jose and Thomas. So Jose, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if Jose knows the car really well, he can't drive it. And Thomas has none. So the minute Thomas is going to get him either way, so that'll be P9 for him. What Skin Up's penalties look like. Doesn't make a difference, really. But the only thing is, Jose is endangering himself and getting no points. As Kalkas gets frustrated behind Dario and picks up another penalty, and that pretty much guarantees Dario his second place. So he's been holding for so long now, feels like forever. With what is 6 laps to go this Grand Prix. And Owen has joined the chat anyway. Oh my god, Corvo's going for a very bold move right around the outside of Kalkas there. We've been sitting here waiting for something to happen, and it is now happening, sort of, as he did not get past at all, but we've joined a good moment there. How's the race been? First 10-15 laps, pretty good actually, and then things happened and then it became not so good. Qualifying was exciting, except for that, not too much. Surface is dominated. Dario 13 seconds off. These three are kind of been battling for a while. Dario has no penalties, Carcass has 2. I think Culvero has 2 as well. Doan, if he gets to the end, is anyone's guess on his 24 lap old tyres. I'm guessing no, but he has 5 laps to go. Might happen if Surface picks up his first penalty. Blunt has been in a world of his own at the moment with Ben. Skin Up is catching Ben on fresh tyres. And Thomas is catching Jose on fresh tyres, but Jose has 15 seconds of penalties. So his real battle, Jose, is trying to stay ahead of the Pirate for the final point. And there's that barrier that CYP crashed into earlier on the first lap, I think. Or the second lap, something like that. But here goes Skin Up on Ben, I suppose. We've got a little bit of a ding dong for P7. Is it the two Red Bulls, or have we? Commentator's curse is coming to effect here. In a big way. And that'll be a relief for Ben. Oh dear. That was a disaster of a line, I suppose. Corvo and Kalkers, here we go again. I think Kalkers is going to get overtaken this time. I don't think he even defends it. If Corvo goes up into P3. And Kalkers has dropped down to P4, so Corvo looking for his first podium finish. In SLR, I presume, I think. I mean, I do the standings, I should know. His highest finish is 6th so far, so 3rd would be his best finish. And he put in a stellar qualifying lap, qualifying P2, and less than a tenth off a surface as pole. So he's definitely turned up. Maybe it's one of his better tracks. Dario will be getting his P2 this week, it seems. But he should have probably got last week. Well, he should have won last week if he won penalties. But yeah, it's starting to die out a little bit now. As I think, does he got any damage? Or is he just dying? No, not sure. And also the retirement situation. Oh dear, Kalkers has had an error. We did have an error because he's dropped back quite a lot there. The retirements, to walk you through them. Milix was basically up Surface's arse for the first 7 or 8 laps before dirty air caused him to crash, basically. And he lost it in dirty air. Speedster started P11 and then decided to pump Alfie Jensen into the hairpin. Yes, and CYP crashed it in the tunnel. Alfie Jensen's penalties. Well, I'll say Alfie Jensen's penalties. And he didn't actually get any. I mean, he's not actually in the race to actually get any anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, it's just Singapore. Singapore's a horrible track to commentate on. I did T2s yesterday, and that was worse than this one. That was the worst race I've probably ever commentated on. This isn't one of my favourites, but. Yeah, a little bit disappointing. Yeah, but he didn't like give any opportunity to get any penalties. I mean, he lasted like 5 laps, and he got warning on pretty much all of the laps. So, yeah. I don't know how Doan is still going on 27 lap old hard tyres. I mean, I don't know how long they go on this track, but I'm pretty sure you can't go from lap 1 to finish on these tyres pretty much. I don't know if that is impossible. And keep up a decent pace as well. I mean, Blunt is catching. He's definitely catching him up. As the gap is closing to about 3 seconds. I don't know if Donut's got any penalties. We'll just check that situation, I suppose. No, so he's probably going to get a position unless he gets a puncture. Only he knows how close he is to getting one. But he's definitely taking it slowly. Another news, Colovo is starting to reel in Dario a little bit. Couple of tenths, but nothing dramatic. I don't think he'll catch him in the race, otherwise he'd have cut him by now. Do you know what? I'm happy it's Russia because it's such a track you can overtake at. It's raining! It's raining! It's raining, everybody. I'm seeing this. This is why surface crashes. If he does, that would be an absolute disaster, but it's fair to say this has probably been his drive of the season. So far. But yeah, we have rain. And Ben Gallagher's picked. Not for intermediate tyres. For the soft compound. For the fastest lap. And it's getting very slippery out there. I mean, look at the Pirates skidding around. And the Ben Gallagher is not even in the points. So he's picked for them soft tyres. It's definitely getting slippery out there. Yeah, it will be a long lap. For surface it will be anyway. Really hoping he doesn't bin it. Oh Jesus, Dario having a bit of a slide on board. I haven't got too much hope for that. But Blunt has definitely cut down up on this lap. On his tyre saving journey. But Blunt has 9 seconds worth of penalties, I think. So yeah. Ben Gallagher is a long way off the points now. He was in it. So his fastest lap challenge will come to nothing. Going around the final corner, will Blunt have the grip to do anything about down? He's not even opening the DRS, look, that's how confident he is, unless it's broken. Goes around the outside, and he gets another penalty, but he's going to make the move. Or is he? Or is he? He is. He's just got the grip out of the corner. Jose can win this. I'm afraid that ship has sailed long ago. And all Don needs to do is survive this last lap. 29 laps on a set of hard tyres. Fair play to him. He was nowhere on the first lap when he decided not to start. Just sat on the grid. And Ben Gallagher has cooked Kakanas Kasanek Too busy saying his name. Surface has won the race, by the way. We'll have a look at the lovely fireworks in the background. Well, we didn't see them. But Culvino will get the final podium position as Calcutta. We're getting lag now. This is horrendous. Right, so he comes to the line and he will be fuming about that race, especially when he was closing in the championship. The last 3 races, won the last 3. He'll be absolutely fuming on that occasion. But Dario goes him in on penalties in the end. So fair play to Dario with no penalties. Doan gets P5 with a 30 lap stint on the hard tyres. I mean, whew, that is that's up there really, isn't it? Fair play to him. And Skin Up coming home in P7, but will he keep it? He will, because Jose's got 1,000,001 penalties, so he'll drop to P9, and the Pirate has had an absolute mare on this last lap, so he'll have to only keep P10 unless he's got penalties. And Ben Gallagher won't even get fastest lap because it's raining. P11 for Ben. In the end, or P12, as he finishes last in the end of everyone that finished. So that has been for Singapore Grand Prix. Thank God that one's over. This is the race that I always dread commentating on. It's just never a good race, no matter what. I mean, there's some good drives out there. Don't get me wrong. There's some brilliant drives out there today, but it's not Monza, is it? But we're at Russia next week. That could be interesting. We've had a few battles, but nothing special, I suppose. But we're at Russia. Hopefully, we can have a good race there. I will be here next week. In fact, I'm here for the next 4 weeks. So, I'm here to the end of the season, pretty much. I think. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll see you next week. Surface has been your winner today. I'll update the standings as soon as I can. Enjoy the USA Grand Prix coming up in real life in about 30 minutes. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'm the Neo 7. Now I'm out of here.